PANICS! Kim blasts the Sussexes!
Kim Kardashian setting the record straight this morning about Photogate, when photos of the couple were then suddenly deleted without any explanation.
Oh my God.
Meghan Markle and Prince Harry lied.
You're goddamn right.
Not for the first time, but this time publicly, in terms of Kris Jenner's 70th birthday party.
That Kim Kardashian with a smile on her face is accusing the Sussexes of lying.
She's trying to make out it's business as usual in the face of the Kardashians, exposing her and speaking out against her. But guess what? She ain't fooling anyone. She ain't fooling me, that's for sure.
Manipulative, crazy celebrities, right? And not only did they demand a takedown, they also claimed that the Kardashians were lying.
There was no consent form, guys, for anybody to sign for this party for picture releases. That was actually not a thing.
Meghan's all stressed and all like uptight. No, we got to curate this. We got to make this and do all this and connive her way into some image. You know, it's just like, try to be authentic.
It shows you how this is just part of her narrative. She's lied about her father, Thomas Markle. She's lied about her sister. She's lied about her mother. She's lied about her career. She's lied to Prince Harry about not knowing who members of the royal family are.
Kim Kardashian is not one to stay silent or be silenced.
Shows now, you can see it. He got the puppy. He got the puppy on his lapel and his jacket and his smoking, and so you couldn't have forgotten that it was a Remembrance Day because you were wearing the exact same thing that you know represents Remembrance Day. So that is the most stupid, absolutely the most stupid excuse of all.
Oh, yeah. Well, I guess it's Remembrance Sunday tomorrow. Can you take those pictures down, please?
It was only once there was backlash from the United Kingdom over the fact that these pictures went out at exactly the same time as the Remembrance Sunday service in the United Kingdom that Prince Harry and Meghan demanded a takedown.
And so Kim Kardashian with a grin across her face is saying, actually, that's not what went down. You were caught partying when the rest of your family was mourning the war dead, and you had some second thoughts, some regrets.
We were told that it was totally cool to post. And then after it was posted, I think they realized it was Remembrance Day and they didn't want to be seen at a party, even though it's already up. This didn't have to happen. Again, this is all self-inflicted.
Oh, God. How dumb are these two?
This is what's so mortifying. Oh.
So Meghan Markle built a public image on stories no one was supposed to question. Invisible rules, imaginary boundaries, outrage announced after the fact. And then out of nowhere, Kim Kardashian explains what really happened with those Kris Jenner birthday photos that suddenly vanished. No emotion, no defensiveness, just what actually happened.
Shut the fuck up.
The photo
gate from Mom's 70th.
It was really innocent, which is so crazy. Mom and Meghan have been friends for some years now, and they have a really sweet relationship. We took a photo, and then I think we were all going through them. We're all, communicating about like what we're gonna post. We're never ones to post without permission. We are like, it's not who we are.
We're very respectful.
Yeah, like we have the craziest, funnest photos from that night, but we were posting just like fun photos. And so
dignified photos.
We were totally, we were told that it was totally cool to post. And then after it was posted, I think they realized it was Remembrance Day and they didn't want to be seen at a party, even though it's already up. Whatever. So we took them down.
And in seconds, Meghan's carefully managed fairy tale didn't fall apart. It quietly stopped making sense.
Because remember, Meghan and Harry's team briefed that this was the Kardashians' fault, that they had ticked a consent form saying we don't want any pictures released. Bullshit. They were in negotiations about what pictures were going to be posted. I actually think, P. Diner, this is going to be one of the more devastating examples proving Harry and Meghan's compulsive.
No consent form, no cross lines, just regret and a rewrite. And once the facts were spoken out loud, Meghan had nowhere left to stand. Let's be very clear about what this moment actually was. It wasn't a scandal. It wasn't even drama. It was two people discovering in real time that their imagined importance did not exist.
Oh my goodness.
Egan walked into Kris Jenner's birthday party, believing they were part of the story, but they were not. They were guests in a room where status is instinctive, not negotiated, where people don't explain the rules because the people who belong already know them. This wasn't a place where titles mattered. It was a place where presence mattered, and Meghan had none. You're goddamn right. The smiles were polite. The conversations were brief. The interest did not deepen. Hollywood didn't reject them. Hollywood simply didn't adjust for them.
Because yes, Harry and Meghan, they told a complete lie about it because they want people to find their narrative to be, how it is. It's constructed. They've made it out to be something that it really wasn't. But the truth is always the best.
And that quiet indifference is what shattered the illusion, because nothing is more destabilizing than realizing the room you dressed for is not watching. Meghan did not attend this party. Casually. This wasn't some pop in and see friends moment. This was a calculated appearance. Oh, carefully styled, carefully timed, and carefully positioned.
I think Meghan still lives in the past around PR and paparazzi. She doesn't really look at how social media has changed the landscape of celebrity. And you have to lean into this more authentic, very truthful way of being in front of people, because everything is exposed so naturally now because everyone has a phone.
She arrived expecting confirmation. Confirmation that she still belonged. Confirmation that she was still wanted. Confirmation that she was still central. And that's where the humiliation begins, because no one there was looking for her. This was a Kardashian event, a space built on effortless dominance. People there don't seek validation, they generate it. You either match the energy or you fade into the background.
And I think Meghan just doesn't get it. And this is her problem. This is why everything fails with her.
Meghan didn't blend. She hovered. It's like she orbited the entire room looking for attention. She moved through the room with awareness instead of ease. She lingered without being pulled further in. The conversations were never warm, and the circle never tightened.
They are not friends with Ms. Markle at all.
And Harry just followed, and not leading, not anchoring, just there.
He's just watching along with Meghan until he gets the sign. Like a little wounded dog, a little puppy dog who's told what to do by his owner.
A man who once belonged to rooms that stopped for him, now standing half a step behind and watching his wife try to negotiate relevance in a world that doesn't barter attention. They stayed just long enough to be seen and left just early enough to avoid the moment where it became obvious they were unnecessary. People who matter don't time their exits like that, but people who realize they misread the invitation do. Then the photos went up. Normal photos, approved photos, the kind of images that quietly say, yes, you were there, and that should have been the end of it.
Well, it was made into something.
It was just made into something that was so crazy and ridiculous.
But instead of satisfaction, Meghan felt something far worse. Just silence. No buzz. No awe. No reframing of her status. Just mild acknowledgement followed by the internet moving on. And Meghan couldn't just tolerate that, because indifference is the one reaction she does not know how to manage. So then she did what she always does when reality doesn't cooperate. She rewrote the past. Suddenly there was a problem. Suddenly there were rules. Suddenly there was a consent form.
The Kardashians did not, as Meghan claimed, ignore some type of phantom approval form, consent form when it came to that birthday party.
A document so important, it supposedly governed posting rights. Yet so fragile it disappeared the moment anyone asked to see it. No copy, no confirmation, no third-party validation, just an after-the-act explanation designed to transform social embarrassment into moral superiority.
She doesn't want to show up and be truthful. She wants to lie and make things look one way when the reality is something.
This wasn't boundary setting. This was damage control disguised as principle. And the more it was explained, the smaller it sounded, because the truth was simpler and much more humiliating. They approved the photos. Then they regretted them. And instead of owning that regret, they blamed the room. Now, this is where Meghan's fairy tale quietly collapses. Not through confrontation, not through leaks, not through tabloids, but through a calm, unemotional clarity from Kim Kardashian. Kim doesn't argue, she doesn't posture, and she doesn't sound offended. She explains there was no form, but there were conversations, there was approval, then there was regret.
They had regret, and now Kim has just completely laid it all out on the line. And I think it just shows you how much they try to curate things to make it look one way, when the reality is just be truthful.
And in one moment, Meghan's entire narrative loses oxygen because regret is human. But Meghan doesn't allow herself to be human. She needs to be wronged. So when Kim casually mentions that the photos were discussed, agreed upon, and later questioned, it reframes everything Meghan tried to inflate into a violation.
There were conversations that took place between the Kardashians and Harry and Meghan about which pictures from the party were going to be posted. It was only once there was backlash from the United Kingdom over the fact that these pictures went out at exactly the same time as the Remembrance Sunday service in the United Kingdom that Prince Harry and Meghan demanded a takedown.